In the pale light of dawn, a solitary figure approaches a gleaming private jet, his footsteps echoing across the empty runway. This is not just another flight. This is the beginning of a journey that will test every fibre of his being. Here we find a man embarking on a most unusual migration, one that will push the boundaries of endurance, willpower and the human spirit. His name is Armando, a pilot whose life has been defined by the sky. For 22 years he served in the military, flying missions that demanded precision, courage and an unbreakable focus. He's seen the world from 30,000 feet, navigated storms, and led crews through turbulence, both literal and figurative. His reputation is one of quiet confidence, a man who has always found his way home. Yet, despite all his experience, nothing could have prepared him for this. The challenge before him is unlike any journey he has ever undertaken. There are no co-pilots, no ground crew, no comforting routine of takeoff and landing. This time the mission is survival. 100 days, alone inside a jet. The aircraft itself is a marvel, a Hawker jet valued at a staggering $2.5 million. For the next 100 days, this machine will be more than a vessel. It will be Armando's home, his office, his sanctuary and his prison. Every inch of its luxurious interior will become familiar, every sound and shadow a companion in solitude. The jet's plush seats and polished tables, once symbols of fleeting comfort between destinations, now serve as the backdrop for every moment of his existence. He will eat, sleep, work, and dream within these walls, adapting to a life where the world outside is always just out of reach. The mastermind behind this audacious contest is none other than MrBeast, the internet's most inventive philanthropist. The rules are deceptively simple. Armando must remain inside the jet for the full 100 days, no exceptions, no loopholes. If he steps outside, even for a moment, the dream evaporates. The line between victory and defeat is razor-thin. One misplaced step, one moment of weakness, and the $2.5 million prize is lost. The tarmac, so close and yet so forbidden, becomes a symbol of both temptation and danger. This is more than a test of endurance, it is a profound psychological experiment. The mind, when left alone with itself, can be both a sanctuary and a battleground. Armando knows this well. He's spent long nights in distant airfields waiting for dawn, but never for this long, never so completely cut off. At the heart of his struggle is his family. Armando is a devoted husband and father, his life on the ground filled with laughter, bedtime stories and Sunday breakfasts. The thought of missing 100 days of his daughter's growing up, of his wife's daily life, weighs on him more than any physical discomfort ever could. The separation is a constant ache, a silent companion in the quiet hours. He clings to photos, to video calls, to the hope that every sacrifice will be worth it in the end. The prize is not just the jet itself, a symbol of ultimate freedom and luxury. For Armando, it represents a new beginning, a chance to secure his family's future, to give his daughter opportunities he never had. He dreams of flying his family across the country, of adventures yet to come. The jet is a vessel for hope, a promise that every lonely night will have been worth it. But the path is fraught with uncertainty. The stakes are immense, and the journey ahead is sure to be turbulent. There will be moments of doubt, of fear, of longing so sharp it feels like pain. Armando knows that the greatest battles will be fought not in the sky, but within himself. The first hours are a whirlwind of excitement and disbelief. Armando explores every corner of the jet, marvelling at the luxury, the possibilities, the sheer audacity of what he's about to attempt. It feels like stepping into a dream, one that could change his life forever. The jet's interior, once a place of brief respite between flights, now becomes his entire universe. Every surface, every seat, every window will soon bear the imprint of his presence, but the thrill of novelty fades quickly as the rules sink in. There's no escape, no reprieve. The boundaries are absolute, and the consequences for failure are severe. He is both the master and the captive of this flying domain. The door closes with a heavy finality, sealing him inside with his thoughts, his hopes, and his fears. Every window offers a view of a world he cannot touch, a world that moves on without him, a life paused in mid-air. The temptation to step outside, to feel the sun on his face, will be a daily test of resolve. The challenge is a paradox, unimaginable wealth, but at the cost of profound isolation. The jet is both a golden opportunity and a gilded cage. As the heavy door of the Hawker jet seals shut, the world outside fades away. Day one begins, not with a roar but with a hush, as Armando takes his first steps into the unknown. The quiet hum of the auxiliary power unit becomes the soundtrack to his new life. It is a sound he will come to know intimately, a constant companion in the silence. He unpacks his belongings, arranges his bed, and tries to carve out a sense of normalcy in this extraordinary situation. Every small ritual becomes an anchor, a way to hold on to himself. To survive, he must adapt. He sketches out a daily routine, exercise, journaling, video calls, and moments of quiet reflection. The days will be long, the nights even longer. His years as a pilot have prepared him for long hours and high-pressure situations, but this is a different kind of flight. There are no emergencies to solve, only the slow, steady challenge of time. This is a journey inward, a test of resilience, patience, and the true value of what he is fighting for. Each day is a step closer to the prize and a step deeper into self-discovery. Outside, the world watches, captivated by the spectacle. But inside this metal bird, Armando is utterly alone, facing the greatest challenge of his life, with everything to lose and everything to gain. The first moments inside the private jet are filled with a sense of awe. Gleaming leather seats, polished wood, and the soft hum of the engines create an atmosphere of exclusivity. But as the hours tick by, the initial allure of living in a private jet quickly gives way to the harsh realities of the environment. The air feels different here, recycled, dry, and tinged with the faint scent of jet fuel. The windows, though large, offer only fleeting glimpses of the world below, emphasizing the separation from everyday life. The aircraft, designed for short-term luxury travel, is ill-equipped for long-term habitation. The most basic comforts of a home are conspicuously absent. There are no cozy corners, no familiar smells of home-cooked meals, and no soft beds to collapse into after a long day. The cabin, though luxurious at first glance, quickly reveals its limitations as a living space. There is no proper bed for restful sleep, forcing Armando to choose between the stiff passenger seats or the hard, unforgiving floor. Each night he contorts his body, searching for a position that offers even a hint of comfort. The constant drone of the engines becomes a lullaby and a tormentor, making deep sleep nearly impossible. The first few nights are a struggle against physical discomfort, his body aching from the lack of a proper mattress. This constant physical strain becomes an early and formidable opponent in his quest for the grand prize. Each morning he wakes with new aches, his muscles stiff and his mind clouded by fatigue. The jet, once a symbol of luxury, now feels like a cage. The challenge extends beyond the lack of a bed. The jet's galley is minimal, featuring only a microwave. The tiny kitchen area is cramped, with barely enough space to prepare even the simplest of meals. The hum of the microwave becomes a daily ritual, a reminder of the limited options available. His food supply consists of canned meats and other non-perishable items, a monotonous diet that offers little in the way of comfort or nutrition. Each meal is a repetition of the last, cold, bland, and uninspiring. The absence of fresh food begins to wear on him both physically and mentally as he longs for the taste of something real. There is no shower, a simple daily ritual that is now a distant luxury. The cramped bathroom offers only the bare essentials, and the lack of proper hygiene facilities adds another layer of discomfort. Each day without a shower chips away at his sense of normalcy and well-being. These deprivations are not just inconveniences, they are strategic elements of the challenge, designed to wear down his spirit and test the limits of his physical endurance. The jet becomes a crucible, amplifying every minor discomfort into a major obstacle. The psychological toll is immediate: restlessness, irritability, and a growing sense of isolation. Each day is a battle against the growing desire for simple creature comforts that he once took for granted. The sight of the world outside, cities, forests, oceans, serves as a constant reminder of what he is missing. The longing for a hot shower, a soft bed, or a home-cooked meal becomes almost overwhelming. To make matters more complex, Armando is not simply a passive resident. On the second day, the challenge takes a dynamic turn. MrBeast and his crew board the jet, transforming it back into a mode of transport. The sudden influx of people and energy is both a relief and a disruption, breaking the monotony but also reminding him of his unique predicament. Armando, in his role as a pilot, must fly them to a hockey game in New York and then onward to Miami. The responsibility is immense, navigating the skies while managing his own exhaustion and the ever-present discomfort of his living situation. While the crew disembarks to enjoy the events, Armando must remain steadfastly inside the plane, a solitary figure watching from the cockpit window. He is so close to the vibrant life of the cities below, yet he remains worlds apart, bound by the rules of his unique confinement. The city lights twinkle in the distance, a stark contrast to the dim artificial glow of the jet's interior. These early days establish a rhythm of solitude punctuated by strange, surreal interactions. The jet is a silent, lonely space for hours on end, and then suddenly it is a bustling hub of activity. The contrast is jarring and serves as a constant reminder of his isolation. The laughter and excitement of the crew fade quickly, leaving behind an echo of emptiness. He must find the mental fortitude to navigate this strange existence, drawing upon his military discipline to maintain his focus. The physical discomfort is immense, but the psychological challenge of being a prisoner in his own domain is proving to be the greater test. Meditation, routine, and sheer willpower become his tools for survival. He knows this is only the beginning of a long and arduous journey. The sun rises outside the window, signalling another day of challenges ahead, each one a test of his endurance, resilience, and determination to survive 100 days in the sky. As the days slowly slip by and weeks begin to blur together, the challenge inside the jet transforms into something far more complex than mere survival. The air is thick with anticipation. Every sunrise brings new possibilities, and every sunset new doubts. It is no longer just about enduring the cramped quarters or rationing supplies. Now every decision could tip the scales between triumph and defeat. Strategy becomes as vital as stamina. On day 10, the tension reaches a new high. MrBeast appears, a sly grin on his face, and presents Armando with his first major dilemma, a choice that will test not only his resolve, but his vision for the future. The offer is almost surreal, a staggering $50,000 in crisp cash or a custom-built shower attachment for the jet. The cash glimmers with promise, but the shower beckons with the hope of comfort. The money is more than just paper. It's a lifeline, a chance to change his family's destiny. Armando's mind races with possibilities, paying off debts, securing a future, maybe even a long-awaited family vacation, but the shower is no less tempting. After days of feeling grimy and exhausted, the thought of hot water and a moment of true refreshment is almost intoxicating. The comfort it promises could make the next 90 days bearable, or even enjoyable. The room is silent as Armando weighs his options. His hands hover over the cash, but his eyes linger on the shower. After a long, suspenseful moment, he chooses the cache, a practical, calculated move, but one that leaves a trace of longing in the air. 10 more days crawl by, each one harder than the last. The lack of comfort gnaws at him, and the jet's walls seem to close in a little tighter with every sleepless night. Sleep deprivation becomes his new adversary. Armando's eyes grow heavy, his thoughts muddled. The toll on his body and mind is unmistakable. MrBeast returns, this time with a new offer, a custom-made inflatable bed, perfectly tailored for the jet's cramped cabin. The promise of a good night's sleep is almost too good to be true. But there's a twist. A massive, sealed mystery crate sits beside the bed. Its contents are unknown and speculation runs wild. Is it a luxury item, a game-changing tool, or perhaps something utterly useless? Armando is allowed to test the bed for one night. As he sinks into its comfort, the exhaustion melts away. For the first time in weeks, he sleeps deeply, waking up with a clear mind and renewed energy. The transformation is immediate. He feels alive again, his spirit lifted, his determination sharpened. Now, faced with the choice, Armando's mind races. The mystery crate could hold anything, maybe even something worth more than the jet itself. But the bed is a guarantee, comfort, rest, and the strength to go on. With a deep breath, he chooses the bed, turning down the crate. The suspense is electric as MrBeast opens the box to reveal a brand new Lamborghini, an agonizing twist that leaves everyone stunned. The decision speaks volumes about Armando's character. He resists the siren call of instant luxury, choosing instead what he truly needs to survive. He is not distracted by glittering prizes or the thrill of the unknown. His eyes remain fixed on the ultimate goal. The jet is his true prize, and every decision is a step toward that finish line. Armando knows this is a marathon, not a sprint. His health, both physical and mental, is his greatest asset. The Lamborghini would have been a spectacular bonus, but the bed is a necessity, a lifeline in this relentless test of endurance. His choice is a testament to his discipline and long-term thinking, qualities forged in the fires of military service and now tested in the crucible of this challenge. But just as he settles into his new routine, a new rule is announced, one that will shake the foundation of his experience. MrBeast informs him that he is no longer allowed to fly the jet unless specifically instructed for a challenge. The news lands like a thunderclap. Suddenly, one of his primary roles and his connection to the aircraft is stripped away. He is grounded, both literally and figuratively, forced to adapt once again. He is told to keep his piloting skills sharp for a future task, but for now he is simply a resident, an observer in his own domain. The cockpit, once alive with purpose, becomes a silent observation deck. Armando must now find new ways to occupy his mind and stave off the creeping sense of isolation as the suspense of what comes next hangs heavy in the air. The relentless monotony of life inside the jet is one of the most difficult aspects of the challenge. Each day blends into the next, with little to break the cycle of sameness. The same walls, the same view, and the same canned food create a suffocating routine. Meals become a chore, and the lack of variety slowly chips away at Armando's morale. On day 30, however, a message arrives that promises to shatter this predictability and inject some much-needed excitement into the challenge. Armando is presented with a pivotal choice: either accept a 70-day resupply of his standard tinned rations or take a smartphone loaded with a single app, DoorDash. The phone is more than just a device, it's a portal to a world of culinary variety. Suddenly the prospect of fresh, hot meals from countless restaurants is within reach, a tantalizing escape from the blandness of canned food. But there's a twist. This prize comes with a peculiar condition. To unlock the DoorDash app, Armando must allow the occupant of a large, mysterious box to live with him on the jet for a full 24 hours. Driven by the hope for better food and a break from his crushing solitude, Armando accepts the deal, curiosity and hunger outweighing any hesitation. The box opens to reveal Nolan, a lively and energetic member of the MrBeast crew. Nolan's arrival is a shock to the system. A new face, a new voice, and a new energy in the confined space. The sudden introduction of a roommate transforms the quiet, solitary space into a shared environment. The dynamic shifts instantly as Armando must now adapt to another person's presence, habits, and quirks. For the next 24 hours, the jet is no longer just his prison. It becomes a temporary home for two. The atmosphere is lighter, filled with conversation and laughter that had been missing for weeks. They waste no time putting the new phone to use, eagerly scrolling through the DoorDash app. The menu is a revelation: burgers, sushi, pizza and more. Each order is a celebration, a reminder of the world outside. The simple act of sharing a meal with another person feels monumental. The food tastes better, the conversation flows, and the sense of isolation begins to fade. Nolan's presence brings a surge of energy and novelty. The two joke, reminisce and swap stories, creating a sense of camaraderie that lifts Armando's spirits. Together, they decorate the jet's interior, hanging up small decorations and personal items. The space feels warmer, more inviting, a place of shared memories rather than just endurance. This brief period of companionship provides a powerful mental and emotional reset for Armando. The change in routine and the presence of a friend reinvigorate him, making the challenge feel less daunting. The experience reminds him of the simple joys of social interaction and the importance of human connection. The oppressive cycle of loneliness is broken, replaced by a sense of belonging and hope. The 24 hours pass in a whirlwind of activity, laughter and conversation, a stark contrast to the quiet, repetitive days that came before. When Nolan departs, the silence that returns is different. It's no longer heavy and oppressive, but tinged with the memory of recent joy and connection. Armando finds himself smiling, replaying the moments of laughter and shared meals. The memory of Nolan's visit lingers, a bright spot in the long journey. The DoorDash phone remains a powerful tool that gives him a new sense of control and comfort. The menu is now a source of excitement, not dread. With the ability to summon delicious meals from the outside world, Armando's morale soars. This small but significant luxury makes the remaining days feel more manageable and even enjoyable. This experience reinforces the importance of human connection and demonstrates how a single change in routine, a new face, a new menu, can have a massive impact on psychological well-being and group dynamics during a period of prolonged isolation. As the challenge crosses the halfway mark, the emotional toll of separation from his family becomes increasingly heavy. Each day spent soaring above the clouds, Armando feels the distance not just in miles, but in moments missed. Bedtime stories left untold, laughter echoing only in memory, and the warmth of a hug replaced by the cold hum of the engines. The prizes and distractions are welcome, but they simply cannot fill the void left by the absence of his wife and daughter. The luxury that surrounds him feels hollow, a gilded cage that cannot replace the simple joy of a shared meal or the comfort of a loved one's touch. The ache of missing them, well, it's a constant underlying current in his daily life. He clings to memories. His daughter's laughter on a sunny afternoon, the way his wife's hand fits perfectly in his. Above the clouds, these memories become both a comfort and a torment, reminders of what he's fighting for and what he's left behind. He speaks of them often, his love and longing evident in his voice. Every call is a lifeline, a fragile thread connecting his heart to theirs. But the screen can never capture the warmth of a real embrace or the subtle glances that say more than words ever could. The production team, aware of the immense personal sacrifice he is making, recognizes his need for a connection that goes beyond a simple phone call. They see the way his eyes linger on family photos, the way his smile fades when the calls end. On day 50, they arrange the most meaningful surprise of the entire challenge, a moment that will bridge the gap between sky and earth and bring his world a little closer. After an emotional phone call with his wife, Armando is given an instruction he's been waiting weeks to hear. He is to fly the jet. The anticipation surges through him, mingling with hope and nervous excitement. His destination is not a random city for a challenge, but his own local airport. The familiar landscape below stirs a flood of memories: family picnics, school drop-offs, the ordinary magic of home. The purpose of this flight is not to win a prize, but to receive something far more valuable, a chance to reconnect, if only for a fleeting moment, with the people who mean everything to him. As he expertly lands the Hawker jet and taxis to a private section of the airfield, he sees them. His heart leaps at the sight, his wife and daughter waving from the tarmac, their faces radiant with anticipation and love. His wife and daughter are waiting for him, a sight that brings an overwhelming wave of emotion. The distance of the past weeks collapses in an instant, replaced by the raw, immediate joy of reunion. The rules are clear. He cannot step off the plane, but for the first time his world is coming to him. The boundary between sky and earth, between longing and belonging, blurs as his family draws near. The jet's door opens, and his family comes aboard. The sterile silence of the cabin is broken by laughter, by the sound of his daughter's feet running down the aisle, by the soft words of his wife. The cold, sterile cabin is instantly transformed into a warm, loving space, filled with hugs, tears, and joyful laughter. For a few precious hours, the jet is no longer a cage, but a home, suspended between the clouds and the earth, but grounded in love. For a few precious hours, the jet is no longer a cage, but a private family sanctuary suspended between the sky and the ground. They share stories, relive memories, and create new ones, moments that will carry him through the days ahead. He can hold his daughter, talk with his wife face to face, and feel the powerful reassurance of their presence. The simple act of being together above the clouds makes every sacrifice feel worthwhile. This reunion is a critical lifeline, a powerful injection of love and support that recharges his spirit and strengthens his resolve to see the challenge through to the end. The memory of their laughter, the feel of their hands in his, becomes his anchor in the sky. This visit serves as a potent reminder of why he is enduring this hardship. Every mile flown, every lonely night is for them, for the future they will build together. Seeing his family and seeing them inside the very jet he hopes to win for them makes the abstract goal intensely real and personal. The jet is no longer just a prize, it is a vessel for their dreams, a promise of adventures yet to come. The experience solidifies his motivation, transforming the prize from a mere object of value into a tangible symbol of his dedication to their future. Above the clouds, he realizes that love is the true engine that keeps him going. As his family departs, the loneliness returns, but it is now tempered by the fresh memory of their love. The echoes of their laughter linger in the cabin, a gentle reminder that he is never truly alone. He has the strength to continue, his heart full and his purpose clearer than ever before. Above the clouds, he carries his family with him, in every memory, every hope, and every mile closer to home. Living within the narrow fuselage of a jet for 2 months takes a toll. The walls seem to close in, the recycled air grows stale, and every day feels a little more confining than the last. The lack of space, the inability to stretch his legs or feel the open air, creates a sense of profound confinement. Even the simplest pleasures, like standing up straight or taking a deep breath of fresh air, become distant memories. By day 60, Armando is feeling the effects of this limited existence. Fatigue sets in, both physically and mentally, as the monotony and restriction begin to erode his motivation. It is at this point that MrBeast presents him with an extraordinary offer, a chance to dramatically expand his world without breaking the primary rule of the challenge. The offer is for a large platform, a custom-built extension that can be attached to the side of the jet, complete with a small gym and a trampoline. This isn't just a patch of extra space, it's a personal yard, a sanctuary in the sky. It would be his own private outdoor space, a yard in the sky. For the first time in months, Armando could step outside, stretch and feel the sun and wind on his face, luxuries that had become almost unimaginable. This incredible expansion of his living area comes at a steep price. The freedom and relief it promises are not without sacrifice. To acquire this new space, Armando must give back the $50,000 in cash he chose to keep on day 10, a sum that represents both security and a tangible reward for his endurance so far. He is faced with a difficult decision: hold on to the significant financial gain he has already secured, or trade it for an improvement in his quality of life for the remaining 40 days of the challenge. The money represents security and a head start on the costs of owning the jet. It's a safety net, a reward that could make the entire ordeal feel worthwhile. The platform, however, offers freedom from the claustrophobic environment that is wearing him down mentally and physically. It's a chance to reclaim a sense of normalcy and autonomy. After weighing his options, Armando makes a bold choice. He recognizes that the value of personal space and well-being can far outweigh even a substantial sum of money. He decides to trade the money for the platform, choosing to invest in his own health and happiness for the remainder of the challenge. This decision underscores his deep understanding of the psychological nature of the challenge. The battle isn't just about endurance, it's about maintaining hope, motivation, and mental strength. He recognizes that his mental and physical health are paramount. The ability to move freely, to exercise, and to simply exist in a space that feels his own is a powerful motivator. The ability to exercise, to jump on a trampoline under the open sky, and to simply have more room to move is worth more to him at this stage than the cash. The yard becomes a symbol of hope and renewal. He wisely invests in his own well-being, knowing that it is the key to reaching the finish line. The platform is more than just a physical space. It's a mental reset, a place to recharge and rediscover his motivation. The money can be earned again, but his resolve, once broken, might be impossible to repair. The yard is an investment in his spirit and determination. The arrival and installation of the yard is a game-changing moment. The transformation is immediate and profound. Suddenly his world doubles in size. The sense of freedom and possibility is palpable. He can work out, feel the sun on his face, and escape the tight confines of the cabin. The platform becomes a place of inspiration and renewed energy. The platform becomes his personal oasis, a place to decompress and recharge. It's a reminder that even in the most challenging circumstances, a change of environment can reignite hope. It is a testament to his strategic thinking, sacrificing a short-term financial prize for a long-term strategic advantage in this mental marathon. The yard is not just a luxury, it's a tool for survival. The investment pays immediate dividends, lifting his spirits and renewing his energy for the final, most challenging stretch of his 100-day journey. The personal yard stands as a symbol of resilience, motivation, and the power of personal space to transform even the toughest challenges. Just as Armando settles into a new routine with his expanded living space, a sense of comfort begins to take root. He finds small joys in the predictability of his days, the familiar hum of the engines, and the rhythm of his daily rituals. But suddenly, the challenge takes a sharp, psychological turn, shattering that fragile sense of security. The regular 10-day check-ins and offers from MrBeast and his crew have provided a predictable structure to his isolated existence, anchoring him to the outside world. These check-ins are milestones, small beacons of hope that break up the immense passage of time, giving him something to look forward to. However, as day 70 approaches and then passes with no communication, a new and unsettling feeling begins to creep in. The silence is deafening. The absence of contact is not just a void, it's a weight pressing down on his mind. Each hour stretches, amplifying his sense of isolation. There is no call, no new challenge, no offer, just the quiet hum of the jet and the vast emptiness of the sky. The world outside feels impossibly distant. This deliberate lack of contact is a calculated move by the organizers, designed to be one of the toughest tests yet, a true trial of mental fortitude. It preys on the fundamental human fear of being forgotten, of vanishing from the minds of others. As the days tick by, day 71, day 72, day 75, Armando is left completely alone with his thoughts. The silence becomes a mirror, reflecting his deepest insecurities and doubts. He begins to wonder if the challenge has been abandoned, if he has been left behind. The uncertainty gnaws at him, making every minute feel like an eternity. The uncertainty is a powerful form of mental anguish, far more taxing than physical discomfort or dietary monotony. He battles waves of exhaustion and moments where his motivation falters. The temptation to give in, to let the silence win, is ever present. But Armando knows that this is the true test, the battle within. It is a direct assault on his morale, forcing him to confront the true depth of his solitude. He faces long stretches of time where doubt creeps in, whispering that he is alone, that no one is watching, that the effort is pointless. During this period of intense isolation, Armando must rely entirely on his own inner strength and discipline. He turns to meditation, journaling and self-reflection to anchor his mind. He draws upon his military background, recalling the lessons learned in the field, how to endure long periods of waiting, how to manage fear and uncertainty, how to keep moving forward when the end is nowhere in sight. He sticks to his routine, using the gym on his platform, reading and maintaining the jet. These small acts of discipline become lifelines, keeping his mind from spiraling. He cleans, repairs and organizes, channeling his anxiety into productive action. Each completed task is a small victory against the creeping sense of helplessness. He fights back against the thoughts of doubt and abandonment, refusing to let them take root. He focuses on his family and the ultimate prize, using their memory as a shield against despair. He reminds himself why he started this journey. This silent trial forces him to prove his resilience, not to an audience or a camera crew, but to himself. Every day is a test of willpower, a battle to maintain hope in the face of overwhelming solitude. It is a lonely battle fought within the confines of his own mind, where every doubt is magnified and every fear is amplified. Finally, after 10 long days of silence, the phone rings again. The sound is almost shocking, a lifeline thrown into the void. The relief is immense, a wave of emotion crashing over him. He realizes just how close he came to the edge. This period of induced isolation, while brutal, ultimately serves to strengthen his resolve. He has stared into the abyss and refused to blink. He has faced the psychological abyss of being utterly alone and forgotten, and he has found the strength to keep going. He emerges from this ordeal stronger, more self-aware and more determined than ever. He has proven that his determination is not dependent on external validation or regular interaction, but on an unshakable belief in himself. He is self-reliant and steadfast in his mission, having developed strategies to overcome even the darkest moments of doubt. The 10-day silence was a cruel but effective test, pushing him to the brink and forcing him to discover new reserves of mental strength. By enduring it, Armando has shown that he possesses the unbreakable mental fortitude required to win, not just the challenge, but the battle within himself. As the sun rises on the final stretch, the energy in the air is electric. Armando is about to face his wildest challenge yet. From day 80 to day 90, he and his support team must launch into a 10-day, high-octane scavenger hunt, racing across the entire United States in a whirlwind of adventure. This isn't just a test of endurance, it's a full-throttle examination of Armando's piloting prowess, his team's coordination, and their ability to adapt to chaos at a moment's notice. The rules are simple, but the execution is anything but. 10 cities, 10 unique items, each ordered through DoorDash, and every delivery must happen while Armando remains in the cockpit, no exceptions. The clock is merciless, counting down every second as the jet streaks toward North Carolina, the home base he must return to by day 90 if he hopes to win. The challenge injects a surge of adrenaline into Armando and his crew, snapping them into action and transforming the jet into a mobile command center. Gone is the monotony of waiting. Now every moment is a flurry of flight planning, airspace navigation and rapid-fire communication with air traffic control and ground teams. From the snow-capped Rockies to the bustling cities of the East Coast, Armando and his team blaze a trail across America, each leg of the journey more thrilling than the last. At every stop, the team springs into action, coordinating with local DoorDash drivers, verifying orders, and ensuring Armando never leaves the cockpit, even as he samples everything from deep dish pizza in Chicago to fresh seafood in Seattle. But the adventure is fraught with danger. Storm clouds gather, mechanical issues threaten to ground the mission, and every delay could spell disaster. When the jet falters, Armando's team leaps into action, troubleshooting with ground crews over the radio, their teamwork and quick thinking keeping the mission alive. Weather radar blares warnings as storms threaten to reroute their path, forcing split-second decisions and daring detours that test everyone's nerves. Each crisis is a crucible, forging Armando and his crew into a tighter, more resilient unit, their focus razor-sharp as they push through adversity. Time management becomes a high-stakes game, with every minute accounted for. Flight hours, rest breaks, and the precise timing of each food delivery. The team juggles logistics, placing orders mid-flight and coordinating with drivers on the ground, all to keep the scavenger hunt on track. Against all odds, and with the energy of a true adventure, Armando and his team conquer the scavenger hunt, their spirits soaring as they near the finish line. On day 90, the Hawker jet touches down in North Carolina, greeted by cheers and high-fives, every receipt a badge of victory for the whole crew. Their triumph is a testament to teamwork, skill, and the unbreakable will to succeed. Armando's confidence and pride are matched only by the camaraderie of his team. For this epic feat, Armando is awarded another $50,000 in cash, the reward for a journey that pushed every limit. But the real prize is the adventure itself, a wild, unforgettable ride that proves what's possible when a team comes together and a pilot dares to dream big as he heads into the final 10 days of this legendary 100-day odyssey. As the countdown reaches its final days, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. Armando has endured unimaginable challenges, from physical discomfort and profound loneliness to complex logistical tasks and psychological tests. He has proven his resilience time and time again. On day 90, with the finish line in sight, MrBeast presents him with one final monumental offer. He's given the chance to double down on his ordeal, to immediately commit to another 100-day challenge back-to-back for an additional prize of $500,000. He is given the last 10 days of his current challenge to contemplate this life-altering decision. The offer is a stunning twist, a temptation of immense proportions. An extra $500,000 is a fortune that could provide an even greater level of security for his family. However, the cost is another 100 days of isolation, another 3 months away from his wife and daughter. He spends the final 10 days in deep reflection, weighing the financial reward against the immense personal sacrifice it would require. The jet is almost his, but the lure of even greater wealth forces him to question his limits and priorities one last time. On day 100, the final day, the jet is surrounded by his family, the MrBeast crew, and an air of celebration. It is the moment of truth, with his wife and daughter standing by his side, ready to welcome him back to the world. The offer is formally presented again. His family, hearing the details for the first time, reacts instantly and instinctively. Their faces show a mixture of shock and concern. Without hesitation, they urge him to say no, to come home. Their presence and their immediate heartfelt response provide him with the clarity he needs. In that moment, Armando's choice becomes simple. He looks at his family, at the life waiting for him just a few feet away on the tarmac, and he knows what truly matters. He respectfully declines the offer for another 100 days. He has already won. He has proven everything he needed to prove to himself. As he steps out of the jet for the first time in 100 days, feeling the solid ground beneath his feet, he is not just the owner of a $2.5 million aircraft and his cash prize. He is a man who has discovered the true depth of his own strength and, more importantly, the priceless value of his family. Reflecting on his journey, Armando realizes that the trials he faced were not just about endurance, but about understanding what truly matters in life. As he walks away from the jet, hand in hand with his family, he knows that the greatest prize of all is the love and support of those who stood by him through it all. While Armando's journey was a test of grit and heart, it was also a masterclass in resourcefulness. Over 100 days confined to a luxury jet, he developed a set of creative survival hacks that turned a metal tube into a livable and sometimes even enjoyable space. Here's a deep dive into the strategies that kept him going. First, up food storage. With limited galley space, Armando prioritized non-perishable snacks and used vacuum-sealed bags to stretch out the shelf life of fresh produce. He converted an overhead compartment into a makeshift pantry, labeling everything for quick access and minimizing waste. Sleep optimization was crucial. To combat jet lag and restlessness, Armando experimented with blackout eye masks, noise-cancelling headphones, and a strict sleep schedule. He even rearranged seat cushions into a custom mattress, transforming a row of seats into a surprisingly comfortable bed. Entertainment was another challenge. Armando set up a rotation of board games, puzzles, and digital downloads, keeping his mind sharp with daily challenges. He dedicated time to journaling and even learned a new language using mobile apps, turning isolation into an opportunity for growth. But perhaps the most important hacks were for mental health. Armando created a daily routine with scheduled calls to loved ones, meditation sessions, and small celebrations for milestones. He decorated the jet with photos and drawings sent by his daughter, making the space feel more like home. In the end, these survival hacks weren't just about comfort. They were about staying resilient, optimistic, and focused on the finish line. Armando's story proves that with a little ingenuity, even the toughest challenges can be overcome, one creative solution at a time. While Armando faced his challenge alone in the cabin, an entire crew worked tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the jet and the journey running smoothly. Let's pull back the curtain and meet the unsung heroes of this high-flying adventure. Each day began before sunrise for the technical crew. Their first task, inspecting every inch of the jet from the engines to the emergency systems, ensuring safety was never compromised. Engineers ran diagnostics, checked fuel levels, and coordinated with ground control, often troubleshooting unexpected technical hiccups on the fly. Meanwhile, the logistics team managed everything from food deliveries to waste disposal. With strict protocols and limited space, they developed a precise schedule for restocking supplies and removing waste, all without disturbing Armando's routine. Medical staff were always on standby, conducting regular health checks and monitoring Armando's well-being remotely. They also prepared for emergencies, ready to respond at a moment's notice. Production crew captured every moment, working in shifts to operate cameras, manage audio feeds, and coordinate live streams. Their challenge? Staying invisible, so Armando's experience felt as authentic as possible. Throughout the challenge, the crew fostered a supportive environment, cheering Armando on from behind the scenes and stepping in only when absolutely necessary. Their dedication, adaptability, and teamwork made this extraordinary experiment possible. In the end, it wasn't just Armando's resilience that made the journey a success. It was the combined effort of a crew committed to keeping him safe, comfortable, and focused on his $2.5 million goal. No high-flying adventure is without its share of turbulence, and Armando's $2.5 million challenge was no exception. In this chapter, we reveal the most intense and unexpected emergencies that put both Armando and the crew to the ultimate test. It started with a sudden warning light flashing mid-flight, a technical malfunction in the jet's electrical system. Within seconds, the crew leapt into action, running diagnostics and manually rerouting power to keep essential systems online. Every decision counted, and their swift teamwork kept the challenge and Armando safe in the sky. But technology wasn't the only concern. On day 23, Armando reported feeling dizzy and lightheaded. Medical staff immediately monitored his vitals remotely, while a standby team prepared for a rapid intervention. After a tense hour and some quick adjustments to air pressure and hydration, Armando was back on his feet, reminding everyone that health is just as important as endurance. Then there was the great turbulence incident. A sudden storm forced the jet through a patch of severe turbulence. Cameras rattled, trays slid, and everyone braced themselves. The pilot's steady hands and the crew's calm communication helped them weather the storm, proving that preparation and experience turn chaos into control. Each crisis was met with calm resolve and expert action. From technical malfunctions to health scares, these emergencies tested the limits of human and machine, but also revealed the strength of a team united by a single mission. Through every challenge, Armando and the crew emerged stronger, proving that sometimes it's the unexpected moments that define the journey. While Armando and the crew faced challenges at 40,000 feet, the world watched from below, captivated, inspired, and more connected than ever. As each twist and turn of the $2.5 million challenge unfolded, social media exploded with reactions. Fans from every corner of the globe shared their excitement, posting clips of jaw-dropping moments, clever memes, and heartfelt messages of support. Hashtags like #JetChallenge and #FlyWithArmando began trending, turning the adventure into a viral sensation. Live-stream comment sections buzzed with theories, predictions, and even real-time advice for the crew. Some viewers recreated their favourite scenes at home, while others designed digital fan art showcasing Armando's most daring feats. The challenge even caught the attention of celebrities and aviation enthusiasts who chimed in with praise and encouragement. Every emergency, every victory, and every laugh was amplified by millions of voices, proving that when one person takes to the skies, a whole community can soar alongside them. In the end, it wasn't just a test of endurance in a jet, It became a global phenomenon, uniting fans in a shared journey of excitement, suspense and inspiration. As the dust settles on Armando's incredible 100-day journey, one question lingers in the air. What have we really learned from life at 40,000 feet? From mastering the art of teamwork in tight quarters to finding comfort in the most unexpected places, every day brought new challenges and invaluable lessons. The crew discovered just how far determination and creativity could take them, proving that even in a world of luxury, survival is all about resilience, adaptability and trust. But as the final countdown ends, a new adventure may already be on the horizon. With fans clamouring for more and the world watching, MrBeast and the team are already brainstorming their next wild challenge. Could it be surviving 100 days on a deserted island, or maybe a race around the globe in the world's fastest vehicles? One thing's for sure. Whatever comes next, the stakes will be higher, the surprises bigger, and the journey even more unforgettable. Stay tuned, because the sky is never the limit when you're flying with MrBeast.